Rules to successfully survive a movie podcast. You may not survive the podcast if you have sex. You may not survive the podcast if you drink and do drugs. And you may not survive the podcast if you say, I'm fine, I'm actually a good comedian, and yeah, I fuck. It's a special month. It's just, we'll just tell your mother, we're scared. We're doing horror movies all of October on this week's episode of...
Well, we'll just tell your mother that we ate it all.
This summer, imagine being a butt baby. There's just, you do it, the trailer is like, this summer, imagine. And then someone being like, honey, the test came back. It was positive. And he was like,
but how?
But wait, we didn't even have vaginal sex. It's just being.
then it cuts to the doctor's office and he's like, there's a way.
Sometimes it drips down. And it drips like it travels from the...
a doctor climbing to the top of a cave in Tibet where the guy goes, there is a way where the cum leaks out of the asshole. The movie event of the year.
Has there ever been Has there ever been a stand-up bit turned into a movie before? Other than The Aristocrats. Aristocrats doesn't count.
But that's not a movie. That's like a documentary
that's
about the
saying.
joke.
That's why I'm saying it doesn't count.
Maybe.
I mean, like, you could argue that, like there are a
SNL
ton
sketches.
of SNL sketches,
Yeah.
but, like,
That's true.
a written bit?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, because there might be, like, movies written by comedians that, like, started as a bit, and they're like, oh, this is a rich
Oh,
premise.
for sure. I've seen stand-up bits I recognize put in TV shows, and I can know that the person who did the stand-up bit is a writer for the...
But, like, I don't think...
Oh, man, like, so much of Becky's stand-up was in The Other Guy.
Yeah, I mean, that's who I was thinking of, but I was trying not to out her. But that's
Oh, I'm
But,
sure
like,
she'd be fine to
yeah.
say that. She was a writer of
wrote
the show.
it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I don't know what the edit
that character was based on her.
Coming in 2019, and it's just like an emo kid standing in a mirror, like side on, and he's just like pulling up shit, and it's like, he thought he was the teenage boy that got her pregnant.
But actually...
Secretly fat, coming to a movie theater from the producers that brought you Butt Baby.
Secretly fat is like my only like clean joke.
What about the like... it'd be like... worked in a McDonald's and the tagline is that's not how you're supposed to treat family.
Man, Butt Baby the movie where they're in Tibet where he's teaching them.
Yeah, it's very funny.
There is a way.
There is a legend. You are the one, Butt Baby. Yeah, that's sick. I don't know. What else we got? We haven't recorded in a few weeks other than the one we recorded 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I was in Adelaide.
Yeah,
we
you
can talk
were.
about that. I went to
Yeah.
Adelaide.
Sleep with your Dadelaide.
The King of Adelaide returned for a
did.
very sad weekend.
I had the best weekend. It was so good. It was so good I really needed a holiday, I think. It was really nice.
Would you say you headlined the Friday night?
Sort of.
Because they billed you as a feature act from Melbourne.
I thought you were hosting.
No, I hosted the open mic on
Yeah.
the Monday.
Right.
But it's
I did
also
the big showcase
the
on
feature
Friday.
act at the big Rhino Room Newcomers Showcase.
Yeah.
You've been doing comedy for nearly 8 years.
Where Hastings has more experience than every act combined, probably.
Yeah.
No,
And they still wouldn't even call him headliner on the bill. They said he was the feature.
Would you be at 8 years yet? Because
Yeah, I'm past 8 years.
I'm 8
yeah.
years in October.
Yeah, I'm at 8 years, yeah. I think I'm about 6 months ahead of you. It was like on the night he made a point to be like, this guy's been doing it forever and he's a big comic in Sydney. Come check him out. Yeah, you could just lie.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Matt O'Kine won Best Newcomer at Melbourne Comedy Festival when he was like 10 years into stand-up.
You're right, that is the same.
Like,
How does it feel to be the same as Matt O'Kine?
Man, me being black and chicken and shit? Fuck yeah, my dude.
yeah.
I mean, that and like
so
this.
that you're a white vegetarian.
True.
Yeah, this could be your year, dude. You've won Best Newcomer at Adelaide, and Ronnie Chang has a Netflix special with an Andrew Hastings joke on it.
Man.
Imagine
That's got to be the next hour.
If Becky Lucas does a ghosting bit on the next thing she films, and Ronnie Chang, I would be so fucking furious. Man.
Maybe.
What if you got a special? Would it make up for it if you got a special thanks on Ronnie Chang's Netflix thing?
Like $50 would make up for
Thanks
it.
to Andrew Hastings for writing this joke for me.
Man, it's so funny. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I was in Adelaide. I went to an emo night. I haven't been to one in 2 years.
Yeah, how was it?
Man, I still got it.
What do you mean you still got it? You
Yeah,
mean
did you
hooked
make
up
out with an
chicks?
18-year-old?
No, I was there with the girl. I wasn't even picking up.
Yeah, but what does does everyone walk around being like, wow, the king is back?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's like
How
walking
do people
by.
react to you?
He's
at any
walking
moment?
by and like people are whispering like, "This guy's legit."
Yeah.
Yep. Yep, that's what happens.
I don't.
Yeah, talk
believe
us
you.
through what happens when you walk into an emo night. Does everyone turn around?
Yeah, the crowd parts.
Yeah.
And I go straight to the bar.
Do they hand you
Men
your
want to be
scepter?
him. Ladies
Yeah.
want to be with him.
Yeah, they hand me
I shouldn't say
my...
ladies. Should say girls.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't say men. I should say boys because it's an
Yeah.
emo night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you the oldest person there?
I wasn't at this one. Adelaide emo's a bit different. They still have a bit of an emo scene there, which is why I love doing comedy there so much. Well, I walked in on my way up the stairs. I walked in the venue. A guy stopped me and said, "Hey, you're Andrew Hastings, the comedian." So that was pretty
No
cool.
way
Yeah,
that
I swear to
happened.
God, yeah. That happened just in the Adelaide one. Yeah.
Did you call ahead and be like, well, I'm going to walk up the stairs with this girl?
Yeah, could you put an
No.
old Adelaide Fringe poster of mine
Yeah.
in the toilets?
Have them say, you're Andrew Hastings, the comedian, and I'll transfer you 10 Dexies on the dark web.
transfer you taxis on the dark web?
Yeah.
That's how
What
it
do you think
works.
the dark web? You can't transport physical goods through a broadband connection.
You're not doing it right then.
Yeah,
that's true.
What do you think Bitcoin is?
No, it was
huh?
sick, man. A lot of guys with fingerless gloves. It was great. So they were playing like all the bangers. Like I knew every song. It was so good. Bit of TBS, bit of Used, bit of MCR.
So, like, Adelaide really is a city that, like, is stuck in 2008, much like you.
yes.
Mm.
And so you just go there, clean up a comedy.
Yeah.
You never actually said how you went on Newcomers Night.
Oh, it crushed. It was great.
Oh, okay.
It was a whole.
Andy's the only person I've ever heard legitimately contemplate moving to Adelaide
Dude,
who
like-
hasn't like committed a crime they need to flee from or something like that.
While I was down there, I could not stop talking about moving to Adelaide. I was like, one day.
You've been doing that like ever since we first went
Dude,
there
I
in like
fucking love Adelaide.
2013 or
Here's
whatever
a
it was.
question.
Yeah.
When you got made redundant and they said, you don't have to move to Brisbane, but we have a satellite office in Adelaide, would you have taken that move?
Ooh.
If I didn't do comedy and I was single, probably.
Okay.
If
But
they
I
said
thought you
Mel-
liked being in Adelaide because you're the king of comedy there, too.
Yeah, you would
Yeah,
put-
but that's
you-
not sustainable.
but you probably wouldn't know how much you like Adelaide without having done comedy.
Yeah. Of course. But I'm saying like I would be doing less gigs and like it would be shitter gigs and there'd be less opportunities.
Yeah, but
to,
you'd
like-
be, like, headlining them and stuff.
It's still better to be here in Sydney.
Yeah,
Like,
but because there's only 4 comedians in Adelaide,
Yeah.
like they
Yeah.
just do it like once a month.
yeah,
Everyone
it's
gets a
not
go.
like- it's there's a reason they all leave.
Yeah, right.
It's also like the shittest comedians I've ever seen. Sorry if any Adelaide comics. It was like it's some of the worst.
Man, Hastings taking some swipes.
Like it
But,
was
like,
like
there's no one left there anymore.
it was the fucking shittest comedy I've ever seen. Like
yeah.
At least like when we first started going there, like a lot of people were still there.
like O'Connell and Marcel and stuff.
But
were all
I
still living there.
Yeah, I still like I knew heaps of people's names, and I know maybe like 2 now.
Yeah. Nick Huntley's down there. I hung out with him. He's a cool dude.
Yeah. And is he still doing comedy and stuff?
I think so.
Right.
He was like hanging out at Rhino Room. Like I didn't see. He didn't get up the whole time. I was
So you
there.
wouldn't move to Adelaide, really, is what you're saying?
I would when I like if I wasn't doing comedy. If Yvette leaves me and I quit comedy, I'm moving to Adelaide.
Yeah, but what would you do having quit comedy in Adelaide that's so different?
He just started
like
up a
I'd go
weekly
there
emo
to die,
night,
sort of thing. Like I'd go there and just quietly live out the rest of my life.
which
At
would
emo
be like
nights
for
and stuff.
about
The weed
6
in
months.
Adelaide's really good.
Right.
It's really like famously really good.
Okay, so you
Like,
just go to smoke weed and go to emo nights.
they got like really good bakeries.
I think he would die in
there's
like a kind of infinite jest style catatonic state.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
like
Just like-
that makes sense.
there's a lot of like vegetarian stuff and vegan stuff down there. Like they've got there's like a big community of like so there's like a lot of good food around for like people who
Yeah.
don't eat meat. It's just like
And contact juggling in Rundle Mall.
that's fringe only. That's
I'd love if
I'm not-
Fringe was just there year round.
man. If fringe was there year round, I would have already moved.
Yeah.
Man, contact juggling is literally the worst shit.
I hate it.
It's the
Like,
worst.
Do you remember when we like Muggleton that year, the first year we went to Adelaide, went and like forced us a
Yeah.
flyer
Yeah.
next to the ticket box or whatever?
Yeah, and that guy
and
was-
that guy was there every day, and
Yeah.
there's just no skill at all.
What is it? Like, what's the?
It's like standing
They
there, like
hold
holding like a
glass
little ball
balls.
and like going.
So it's nothing like juggling. It's called kind of, they hold glass balls, like big ones, like
Yeah.
tennis ball size, maybe a bit bigger,
Uh-huh.
and they're probably fully solid glass balls, and they like manipulate it around with their hands,
Okay.
and just don't drop it. Basically, they just don't drop it in fancy ways. They'll spin it around on their
But it's not even that fancy. Like,
So it's
Yeah.
like holding an egg with a spoon.
but it
little
wasn't.
bit,
But it
yeah.
also wasn't just the ball thing. Like, do you
They
remember
roll around on their shoulders and stuff.
this bloke didn't do that.
Yeah.
He wasn't that good.
I saw a good one in England and it was like better, but it was still like, this sucks.
But do
Yeah.
you remember he also had these things that they were kind of these like figure 8 looking discs, and would seemingly just kind of hold them up and just wave them around
just
a bit.
turn
And I'm
them,
like,
yeah.
you aren't doing anything at all.
Yeah. I'm sure it's actually very complicated and hard, but it's like, man, who cares?
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
If it looks shitty, who cares?
The figure 8 thing, no way. Anyone could have done that.
Fire twirling, I've
someone
always
with
hated.
recent hand injuries could have done that.
Yeah.
I've slept with some fire twirlers, but fire twirling I can't
course
stand.
Of course you
have.
fucking have.
Yeah, of course I have. Yeah,
So when you move to Adelaide, you're probably like 2 days away from sleeping with a contact juggler at some point.
yeah probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, moving to Adelaide, man, it's sick. It's very like, what I like about it, I think I went to what I like about it.
How low are they on the scale? I won't out them, but a listener of ours, a friend of mine, thought it was quite funny that while they were living overseas, they slept with 2 different puppeteers.
That's sick.
Yeah, that rules.
Have I ever slept with a puppeteer?
That does seem like something you would do.
Like, I'd put puppeteering above contact juggling.
Why?
Oh,
Sure.
easily.
I've slept with one puppeteer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heath McIver.
Yeah, I slept with Heath McIver.
Randy
Randy
Feltface?
Yeah, there's a
Heath-
reason they call him
Heath
Randy.
McIver is Randy.
yeah.
Yeah, I quite like Randy a lot. I think
Yeah, me too.
I think he's really funny.
Yeah.
And he makes, for something that has a stuck facial position, he makes it very expressive.
That's very much the trick. It's
He's
great.
obviously a good puppeteer.
Yeah. But yeah, what I liked about Adelaide, I realized was like it's big enough, like it's a proper city, it's over 1 million people. So there's always stuff to do. There's bars open, there's plenty of pubs, there's shops, there's shit to do, right? It's like a full proper city. But there's so few people living there that I never have to line up for anything. Like that's what I love. I was in like a trendy bar just off Rundle Street, which is like the main street, on a Friday night at midnight. There was like, it's like a trendy small bar. There was like 8 people in the bar. Perfect. Oh my God. Enough people that it wasn't like dead, but like I didn't have to line up. I could just chill. Like
Yeah, right. But how much? But would it lose some of its luster for you if you went down there and people didn't recognize you as Andrew Hastings from comedy?
why would they not recognize me as Andrew Hastings?
Because you're saying that you're quitting.
I'd
Like,
still do Adelaide open mics.
So you wouldn't quit
No, but this is
comedy.
why I wouldn't do it. This is the whole point. Is because I would have to comedy. I would sacrifice a lot with comedy to move to Adelaide. So I'm not going to move to Adelaide.
So what if you just did like 5?
Also,
Adelaide
Yvette
ra-
hated Adelaide.
Yeah.
She had a fun trip, but she like hated the city. Like,
Was it a trip? Wasn't she there for like a day?
yeah, she was supposed to be there for 2 days, but she flew back early to do a dance recital.
with someone else?
Yeah, with my friend Jack.
Also, I'm doing some cool podcasting right now because the sun is blasting through the window directly at me, so I'm wearing sunglasses.
Yeah, very cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you like Lana Del Rey. Yeah.
You know what? I've been listening to that new album. Good. Maybe a bit overrated.
I haven't listened to the new one yet. I really love her first album. Like,
You seem like someone who would get into Lana Del Rey or
Yeah,
something. It's
I
just
do.
like a slow-paced song that sounds like Nancy Sinatra while she talks about like sucking a dick in a swimming pool or something.
Yep, every word you just said is true.
Yeah.
I do like Lana Del Rey. I like that genre of song. That is the kind of shit she sings about.
I do like.
It's great. Like,
And you do like getting your dick sucked in a swimming pool.
my pussy tastes like
Nah,
Pepsi
pool,
Cola.
anything is not good.
Swimming.
No, well, like sex,
Yeah,
sex related.
yeah,
Swimming,
yeah.
I quite like.
Yeah.
Went down to the nudie beach on Friday. It was good.
Sex in a spa can be fun. You just got to be strategic about it.
Yeah.
Nah, but the water. It just,
That's what you be strategic about. That's
Yeah.
what you know.
Maybe it'll be different when I have a pussy.
If
and
you
I'm
sorry to
having some lesy sex
get
in
graphic
a
about it,
pool
but
or
you can do
spa.
stuff where like if they like sit on the edge of the spa, or you can like bend them over the edge of the spa, stuff of that
You
nature.
just got to be worried about risks of like sitting on
Yeah.
the thing and
There's-
having a guts situation.
There's also just like slipping is a big risk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can put down like bath mats and stuff.
sexy.
There's nothing sexier than being prepared for
Oh, man.
it's a risk management issue.
Oh man, last night I was at this fucking
That
party.
is like a lot of kink. Is like
yeah.
there's a lot of preparation and shit and like
Risk management,
safety
harm reduction.
management amidst like trying to be all like ooh. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Sexy.
it's anytime I've done anything with like rope or like oh man, I'm really adding myself here, aren't I?
I mean, we've done like 70 episodes. I think people know that you're into rope play.
Yeah,
But, like,
am
they've done stuff with,
in
like,
no
bondage
way
tape.
surprised you've
Like-
done shibari stuff.
It's proper shibari's lame. It's like too like fancy and technical. I don't like it. But like stuff with like bondage tape's really cool. But like you can't do it unless you have like a pair of scissors next to the bed in case
Right.
like something goes wrong and you have to like cut them out really quick. Shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty fun. But yeah, Adelaide's sick. I
You keep circling back around to Adelaide.
fucking love Adelaide, dude. I had these really good vegan pies. It was really nice. It feels like a hang, dude. I was staying in this shitty hotel. It was above the Pokies pubs, and I was like, it was really nice.
I think you should move.
I think I should move.
Yeah.
And also stop being on the podcast.
I fucked a 21-year-old. That was pretty cool.
So you did fuck a young girl.
Yeah, but not on emo night. This was a couple days later.
So it's okay.
She came and saw me host
and
the
in
open
Sydney.
mic.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Did you do well? at
Pre
the
or
open mic?
post fuck?
Yeah. So we went on a date during Fringe and we made out, but we didn't have anywhere to go because she lives with her parents and I was staying at an Airbnb.
You live with a parent.
Yeah, she's 21.
Yeah, I know.
She's
but
at uni
you're
and shit, like-
almost 30.
It's fine, dude.
I mean, I know technically it's fine, but the fact that she's you could be taking her home and her dad will be outside being like, did you treat it with respect, Andrew? And you're like, yes, Mr. Papadopoulos or whoever his name is.
Why'd you go to
He's, dating,
Papadopoulos?
he's dating a Greek girl. I just assumed you're dating a Greek girl in Adelaide.
Is there a strong Greek population in Adelaide?
I have no idea.
There's a small one, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was pretty sweet. We went on a date in February, and this was the reunion.
And did she have a curfew?
No, she's 21 years old. She's an adult.
She's living in the garage. She totally got her own space.
She's put her own posters up.
Yeah, man. No, she's at uni. She's at uni. She lives with her parents.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, everything about it is legally fine.
She's a
Everything emotionally about it is wrong and
she's
gross.
a fully developed adult woman.
But don't say fully developed if you're trying to make it seem
She's
better.
Like she's older.
She
yeah.
is fully
She's
developed.
got full-grown breasts.
She's really
ripe.
butted into a beautiful young woman.
Yeah.
She's blossomed.
She's a ripe young woman in her prime.
yeah.
Oh,
No,
I know he's 2 seconds away from saying the word supple.
Nubile.
Yeah.
No, she's 21. She's an adult woman. She can make her own decisions.
Yeah, but it is funny that you're essentially dating a little girl.
Mm.
I'm not dating her. I fucked her one time in Adelaide.
Yeah, but like I said, legally you're on the hook.
Yeah,
but,
totally. I'm fine.
But everywhere else, it seems a bit
21,
kinky.
I think, is fine, right?
Yeah,
Well, I think you're 7 years older than her, maybe 8. That's a big gap. I don't think I've gone that big.
Half your age plus 7. What's that?
How old are you?
29.
Okay.
On Saturday.
So that's 14 and a half.
Plus 7. 21 and a half.
Yeah.
You just,
So you're pretty.
just scraped it.
She's pretty recently 21.
So you did it.
She was 20 in February. When we were on
That
the
was
There you go. So
man,
you-
you could have gone to a 20
He
birth.
just finally proved it. He's a pedophile.
Oh, yeah, I'm a pedophile because I fucked a 21-year-old woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, but half your age plus 7.
All the actors we talk about in these movies are probably 22.
Yeah.
Well, the actors are all 33.
Yeah. Yeah, and we don't fuck Emma Stone.
But we'd love
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, you're heaps cool for not fucking Emma Stone. Dude.
Yeah, I actually make it a point of pride that I have not had sex with Emma Stone.
Man.
Mm.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. Everything about it is above board. It just seems so below board, especially because of who you are.
Yeah.
You're parent nightmare fuel.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Like, if they-
parents, mums love me.
I'm sure, but seeing
But
you
their
come in-
initial, if you turned up to a new girlfriend's house tomorrow.
Oh,
and they saw
the
that,
first impression
Yeah.
is bad.
They would
So
be
you're
worried.
30 years old and wearing the Adidas tracksuit for how many days? 14 days now. Yeah, 14.
Yeah. When did you last shower? Oh, okay.
I don't actually believe in soap.
Yeah.
It's
It's actually a myth.
It is.
yeah, I know, but you saying that to someone who's about to carve the roast dinner.
Yeah, of course.
As you do that, and you're and this tattoo is Blinky the three-eyed fish.
So, okay, to explain this one, you're going to need some context. Are you familiar with professional wrestling of the late 90s?
Yeah. Oh man, Mr. Papadopoulos, have I got a great story for you? Have you ever shat yourself while fucking?
Yeah. Man, come with the king.
Imagine if that was how you bonded with your father-in-law. It
Man,
was
maybe.
You know what? I actually have.
Maybe it is. But no, parents love me. I'm very charming. How Amy's parents
I
love
think
me?
you really
Yeah.
oversell how charming you
I'm
are.
very charming.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
peop-
that skill. It's
Yeah,
the,
I'm sure, but people still. Well,
'Cause
what
the-
I was gonna say was too mean, but
if
it's
you
not the
say
right.
it.
It's not the right thing I'm thinking of. But you're charming and people like you, but they laugh at you.
Yeah, that is mean.
Yeah, yeah. But it's kind of like, oh, tragic, like not tragic, but like
it's just the like, oh bless.
Oh, no.
yeah.
With mums, with the way I win mums over is I think I undercut the initial bad first impression with a lot of smiles and eye contact and stuff like that.
I was hoping you were going to say undercut the father.
Yeah.
But just trying to really emasculate
Yeah, I
him.
just cut that cunt's grass and fucked the mum right in front of him. No, whereas like, so I think it's like, and then you make sure you're very helpful and stuff, and that they're like, oh, it actually like the looking like a piece of shit enhances the like makes the good stuff even better.
But I think a lot of it is like oh look, the dog's doing people things, you know. Like
That's so funny. It's so funny how little people respect me.
These people. That one really got me.
It's funny. Oh man.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's kind of the vibe. You
Yeah.
give off.
Yeah, I get that. Hold on, I think I have a note. Something else about this Adelaide trip.
Do we have any other catch-ups?
I got bag checked twice in 2 hours.
Yeah, so they're like emo racist then.
I think it's
Because they've never seen a black person.
Do
They
you
just
dress
think-
as sloppily when you fly as you do when you come over here
This
to do the
wasn't
podcast?
this wasn't flying. This was grocery shopping near my hotel, and yes, I was dressed very sloppily. I was wearing maybe exactly what I'm wearing now.
Because I usually dress very sloppy when I fly, and I always get picked for the bomb check thing because I think it's just easier.
Yeah. I also just write the addresses real sloppy when I jot them. So he just kept saying sloppy. And I was like, Stan, Eminem. Yeah, I don't know what it was. I think it was because, like, here, I never get bag checked anywhere here, though. And I think it's because they're behind in fashion. I already tweeted this, but, like, I genuinely think wearing an Adidas tracksuit was read as, like, drug dealery in Adelaide, where it's like here, it's like, oh, that's just what every cunt is wearing right now.
Yeah, it's what Daniel Muggleton started and everyone else is
Did
copying.
not start the Adidas tracksuit.
Yeah, no, it was Alexi Toliopoulos.
I have a funny story about Alexi.
Yeah.
So you know how I lost my job quite recently?
Famously.
Yeah, I lost my job quite recently. So I'm wrapping up work this week, but I'm still there. I'm having lunch. I work at Circular Quay. I'm having lunch outside on the grass, like in front of the water there. It's a really nice day. This is like Wednesday, and the Rove getting cancelled was announced Monday. So I'm sitting there at Circular Quay, and Alexi, if you don't know him, let's know he dresses.
He's been on the podcast.
Yeah, but I was saying,
Yeah, a bit of a
this is a
one of the
physical
cast members as well as a former guest,
It's
Alex
a
J.
physical
Bit of a bummer.
description.
Oh,
too,
yeah,
though.
yeah.
He dresses very. He dresses quite well normally. Like he dresses like a lot of like big Hawaiian shirts, gold chains.
He
like-
leans into the Greek thing.
Yeah, so he's just like he's in like full summer Alexi mode, like glasses. He's eating an ice cream like out of a little like bowl, full like whatever. And I see him, and I'm like, oh man, I'm so sorry about Rove getting cancelled. How you doing? And he's like, oh man, like I'll be fine. Like I've got other projects.
Dude, I'll be okay.
Yeah, literally what it was, yeah. So we chat for a couple minutes about like that, and he's like, yeah, I'm actually on my way to like meet up with all the cast and crew for like sort of like farewell drinks or whatever. But yeah, it's all good. Everyone's going to be fine. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And he's like, how you doing? And I was like, I've lost my job. And he was like, oh, bummer, dude. So, yeah, it's so, like, there's so much more sympathy when you lose like an entertainment job.
Yeah,
than,
of
like, a
course.
Because it's a job that people know about.
People, I guess it's also like,
And because people expect you to lose jobs.
that's true.
Yeah, and no one is
I just did a
advertising
stinky
your
fart.
loss of your job.
That's true. I have a funny fart story from last night as
Yeah.
well.
Imagine
involved Charlie McCann.
Hastings
Yes.
gets made redundant and gets replaced by a rerun of Shrek 2.
That's funny.
Yeah, we think this rerun of Shrek 2 will really shore up sales statistics.
So Charlie McCann does famously loud farts.
Yeah.
Everyone knows this
And
famously.
famously fucking vile
Yeah,
smelling.
yeah. He's got the word. I don't know what's up with his fucking guts. I don't know what's going on with him, but the most loud, just horrible. So he did like 5 minutes apart, 2 of the like inhumanly loud. Like there's no.
How does he do it?
I don't know. I was like physically, how are
he
you
must
making that?
train.
And he was like, oh, like sitting on this wooden chair gets like a bit of like an extra
He
volume.
always
and I'm
says
like,
that.
that's not enough of an. That's impossible. Like
Yeah.
we all sit on wooden chairs, dude. Like,
Yeah.
But
I did a championingly loud one here one day, and my ex-girlfriend heard me through 2 closed doors and ran into the room laughing at how loud it was.
But so we did this second fight, and it just sounds like he's going to shit himself every time. It's really sounds like
They
he's gonna
sound
shit
very
himself.
wet.
So I challenged
And he
him.
has shat himself.
Yeah,
so-
I challenged him, and I was like, hey, be honest with me. Just like be real. How often do you shit yourself? Like you must shit yourself sometimes. How often will you say you're shitting yourself?
Follow-up question: how often do you get skid marks?
Yeah. And it's just one of those things, like perfectly timed, completely earnest response done very funnily. But so, how often do you shit yourself? Almost never.
Almost.
But just, how often do you shit yourself? Almost never.
That is great.
Yeah. He said he's only shat himself in public once, and it was that time at Shooter.
Yeah, that was very funny.
I wonder if I can tell this story.
Yeah, just do it.
Man, fuck it, whatever. Yvette shat herself the other night.
Well,
Like, drunk. I was just real drunk.
a recent guest we had apparently last night shit himself, so we've got to get him back on to tell that story.
Yeah, we need to,
Mm-hmm. We
Yeah.
definitely need.
need to get someone to drive over in a Mercedes, if you know what I'm saying.
Park the Benz.
Man.
Let's crack into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, ladies and welcome to We'll Just Tell Your Mother. We scared it all.
Yeah.
No, what did we say? We're going to We'll Just
Spooky.
Tell Your Mother. We're scared. We're doing a special month for October. We're going to do scary teen movies
Teen
instead of
sex
teen
horror
sex
movies.
comedy.
Yeah.
So this week we're doing Scream. It's a 1996 American meta slasher film directed by Wes Craven and written by Kevin Williamson. The film stars David Arquette, Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, Matthew Lillard, Rose McGowan, Skeet Ulrich, and Drew Barrymore. It follows the character of Sidney Prescott, a high school student in a fictional town of Woodsboro, California, who becomes the target of a mysterious killer in a Halloween costume known as Ghostface. It combines black comedy and whodunit mystery with the violence of the slasher genre to satirize the cliches. That this sentence is so much longer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So I'm just bailing on it.
David Arquette.
I'm sure people know what Scream is.
David Arquette, pretty much full-time professional wrestler now.
Yeah, he was. He
Pretty
did
much
that,
full-time.
like movie Ready to Rumble, right? Because he's a huge fan of wrestling.
Yeah, so the backstory for it is...
This would have been where he and Courtney Cox got together, right?
Yes.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
Mm.
So the backstory with the wrestling thing is he was a big wrestling fan. WCW
We must have told this story on the podcast.
I'll do it
before.
very quickly.
No, 'cause I don't think David Arquette's. Oh no, because he was in Never Been Kissed. But
Yeah.
It's important. It was just
And also, I think I hear Hastings bring this up to someone at least once every, I'm going to say, 3 weeks.
it's the funniest thing.
you did something about champagne on Twitter the other day.
Yeah, it's a big wrestling thing that's happening there about champagne, and it's so crazy that people outside of wrestling just don't know. It's so funny. I can't explain what it is. It's like you
Is
just
it
have-
because they're claiming that it's champagne for the wrestlers, but real pain for the MMA fighters?
That's funny. That's pretty good. It's just something.
Well,
dumb
you've never
Chris-
heard that before?
I've heard champagne for my real friends,
Yeah.
etc. Yeah, but
Real
never
pain for my
MMA
sham
for
friends,
wrestling.
yeah.
The funny thing was, doesn't matter. Anyway, David Arquette was. I'll do it very, very quickly. David Arquette was a fan of pro wrestling. Got cast in this movie about wrestling that was funded by WCW to cross-promote it. WCW put the World Heavyweight title on David Arquette, which is a cardinal sin in wrestling. And it's insane that they did that.
And the movie was also a flop.
Yeah, it was a terrible movie. It was a big flop. As a weird redemption story, a decade later, more than a decade later, 15 years later or something, David Arquette actually learnt to become a pro wrestler and is now doing independent pro wrestling dates and bookings and stuff. And he's pretty good. That's the story.
What's his name?
David Arquette.
Yeah, but does he?
David Arquette. He's actor David Arquette.
He's a celebrity. He's not going to
Yeah, I
change his
know.
name.
Yeah.
But
He comes out and he goes, I'm former WCW champion and star of Ready to Rumble and Scream, David Arquette. Fight me.
Yeah, David Arquette is good in the movies that we've seen him in, and really went nowhere.
David Arquette
Yeah.
seems like a good dude.
Yeah,
Everything I've seen about him is very reasonable.
I think he
and
cheated on Courtney Cox though.
Who gives a shit? I don't care.
Why would you cheat on the Queen?
Yeah, I love Courtney Cox.
Yeah,
I
she
mean,
is.
plenty of characters did in Friends, so
Yeah, I guess not Chandler though.
not Chandler, never Chandler.
No.
But
Could he be any more faithful?
there was definitely other characters who did.
Yeah, I think it's one in the first episode is a fuckboy that she dates in Friends.
Yeah, the guy who writes her poetry, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was rewatching some Friends the other day. Pretty good.
Did you see that fucking dog shit take that was on BuzzFeed this week about
Was it the 40th ever Friends? I think I saw it. It's the 1,000th time someone's done a Friends is actually not very
Yeah,
good.
it was
But
Friends.
we all know.
It's Friends was not. Friends is not actually very good now, and it never was. And it's just shut the fuck up,
Man,
It was insanely successful.
Yeah, and the
the
people.
biggest show of the 90s.
Yeah,
so-
and she's this writer for BuzzFeed who then admits halfway through that her website propagates like a lot of like Friends nostalgia stuff that she's been involved in, where it's
Yeah,
like
of course.
14 times Chandler Bing couldn't be anymore, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And she's writing this fucking article, and like her article sucks because it's just like her being like, I don't like Friends over and over again. There's no reason for any of it.
Yeah.
And she brings up the thing where she's like, well, it's got no black people in it. You're like, yeah, but people were saying that in 1995 and it didn't stop it from like...
Yeah, it's such a thing of like where if like news / journalism / even just like writing on the internet or whatever is obviously the whole business model is based around like clicks, and that's just going to fuck up all journalism forever for everything, right? Like it just ruins journalism essentially. Like, you can't have it be done, so you have to like everything just has to be a hot take. Like it sucks.
Yeah,
so
basically.
it has to be fresh. It can't just
Man,
be.
it's feeling like straight up Blade Runner in this house right now.
Man, it's
like,
crazy,
the way
right?
the sun is coming in through the window.
Well, that and also I'm a robot.
Yeah. And I am designed to retire.
Yeah.
Robots.
Rose is there being like, you see a turtle on its back in the desert, and I'm like, I fuck it.
I am actually doing a
feed it a
joke at the
Dexy?
moment with a Blade Runner reference in it. So.
Man, Blade Runner, good film.
Yeah, we should do Blade Runner for the pod.
All right,
Yes.
we're changing it.
We should
It's
do
a science
Blade for
fiction
The,
month.
the Dude's Guide to Dude Cinema.
Yeah.
Where we're just like, it's fucking sick.
Yeah, that's called podcasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the podcast. We're like, it's actually great, and the women who watch it, who
What
haven't
if,
watched it,
what if we did? Okay, what if we did Blade Runner and then Blade and then also what's another movie?
the Kite Runner.
Blades
I
of
was
Glory.
trying to find something with Runner in it.
Blades
Run,
of
Lola,
Glory.
Run.
Yeah.
Blades of Glory works there.
So you want to do an all Blade month?
Yeah, and then
And we have to wear rollerblades.
and then
while
I get
we
it,
record the
and then I
Play
buy a
Beyblades.
katana in the last episode.
That'd be cool.
Man, katana.
Here's an interesting thing. The script for
The Amazon frog. It's like trivia.
this no the script for this movie was originally called Scary Movie.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
why. That's why Scary Movie is titled that.
Right.
Yeah, it's a real
'cause-
Family Guy Blue Harvest situation.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, see, I know pop culture.
Would you see?
I host a podcast.
Would you like as a wedding gift, like a katana with Butt Baby engraved on it?
the whole thing across the whole blade.
This
Yeah.
is true Hanzo steel.
That'll go really well with our his and hers nunchucks.
You can play nunchuck ping pong against each other.
Man, absolutely. Oh man, fuck yeah. Yeah, man, Scream. I hadn't seen this movie before, and I really liked it.
Scream is a scream.
It's great.
That would be
I had a
my
great
log
time.
line for it.
It's very Wheaton-esque.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's written by the guy who created Dawson's Creek.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see
A lot
that.
of savvy, like, pop culture teens espousing.
Well, the whole thing, the whole meta thing, and it's all like it's very like, hey, we're Gen X, we get movies. Like it's the whole thing is like like a self-aware
But I
pop
don't-
culture
yeah,
populace.
But
like
it's easy to fuck that up. Like
Oh, God.
to seem like too like
Man.
we're smarter than you.
so easy. Big
And,
Bang
like-
Theory is still running on repeat in my
Yeah.
house, and it's crazy how easy it is to fuck up pop culture stuff.
But like as well, like even with like self-aware stuff, it's easy to become like a sneering like,
Totally.
we know this.
Totally.
Yeah.
Where
This
like
balances that really
where
well.
Scream gets away with it, probably because it was like the first of its kind to do that in horror.
Yeah.
Like I know that like some of the Freddy movies were quite self-aware as it went.
Not in
on.
the same way.
Yeah.
but
Oh, definitely not in the same way.
they're somewhere in like a B movie comedy because they just became self-aware that they were being sold as like for being shit. Essentially,
I do think
so they
there's
just
like,
lent in.
I do think there is it's either a Freddy or a Jason movie, like where it takes place like on the set of a Freddy or Jason movie.
I think
That rings a bell.
yes, I believe that is.
and that's like very meta. But I think that's also Wes Craven
yeah, that
like-
sounds right.
did that.
I would say that Scream is like one of like the quintessential Gen X movies.
Yeah, I would go.
I think it's like one of the defining films of the 90s.
yeah, I would agree with you.
Yeah.
And it stands.
Well, it spawned 3 sequels.
yeah.
And also spawned kind of an entire genre, like
Yeah.
not genre, but like a whole new
Well,
approach to horror.
It
like,
inspired a whole genre of movies that completely missed the fucking point.
Yeah,
and were just, like,
totally.
straight slashes that were bad.
that's
Like,
why also like the whole like premise of Scary Movie doesn't really work because they're doing a parody of a parody. Like,
yeah.
Well, not a parody, but a parody of like a kind of semi-parody meta satire.
We could save this for the episode because we'll probably do it coming up.
We're
but-
recording now, Rose.
no, the Scary Movie episode.
Right.
But man, like, I think it nailed it. I think it's still very funny.
Oh, I think I wouldn't be surprised if the jokes hold up. It's been so long that I have to like I'm excited to check back in on Scary Movie, but
Definitely some of the gay stuff.
but this
probably
like
doesn't
the
hold up,
the
but-
fundamental premise of Scary
Yeah,
Movie
there's a lot of
doesn't-
gay stuff in it, right?
It's the Wayans brothers, right?
Yeah, well, because like one of them is a closeted homosexual in the movie.
Yes.
Well, he
Scary
denies
movie.
it though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, even right at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's I thought it was great. I thought the performances were like perfect. I thought like it's kind of cheesy, like kind of bad. Like,
Yeah, I think it's
like
supposed
that
to be
all
a bit
really worked.
schmaltzy,
I
like-
thought.
Yeah, I think like it's great because it works as a pure horror movie too.
Yeah.
Like it does have like
Well, I didn't know for years that it was like satirizing horror movies as
yeah,
well as
a
being
lot of
one,
people
like-
completely miss that. Like because and it's easy. That's a sign of like the writing being good because it is easy to just be like breeze past the fact that they keep talking about fucking movies and stuff.
Yeah.
But like I mean like there is nothing quite like it out of the movies that it spawned. Like the rest is just like, okay, so we'll get an actor from the WB network to be in something and she's chased around and she's hot as shit.
Yeah.
And speaking of, Nev Campbell is so hot. Like, I'm a big fan.
Man, Drew Barrymore.
Oh, yeah.
Who would?
Rose
yeah.
McGowan.
I'd like to give her a party of 5,
Yes, that is
which
good.
is a fisting joke.
Okay, all right. I was like,
yeah.
punching her?
No, you go up
Yeah,
and then you curl.
And then she goes, that's a
Yeah.
party.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've fisted. I've done it.
Yeah, I know.
I've done it twice now, actually.
Of course you
I did it a
fisted.
second
Have you
time.
fisted an asshole?
Have you been fisted?
Have you really fisted if you haven't fisted an asshole?
I mean, I'm not. I mean, that's for God to decide. That's shoot them all and let God sort it out.
Yeah. I liked Matthew Lillard in this because he, like, borders into overacting on it, but it's all very funny.
He plays the dumb cop who's the
No, Matthew Lillard is the accomplice killer.
Oh,
Yeah.
right,
Like
right.
especially
Dude,
when,
mate.
like later when they're like stabbing each other and he's like whoa like
Yeah.
so I forgot like parts of that where I was like fuck I actually thought that plot where they stab each other and get really into it was from Scary Movie.
Yeah, that's why.
Well, they parody that in Scary
Yeah,
Movie.
I'm pretty
That's
sure
why-
they do.
that's why the whole conceit of Scary Movie doesn't quite work, even if the film is still good, because it's already a comedy. Like it's already
Yeah.
like you're just ramping up existing jokes. You're just dialing them up. Like there's no actual creativity there, really.
But like Scary Movie is basically just like turning this into like a kind of like Zucker Brothers thing.
Yeah, it's tonally completely different. But that's why it just seems weird to do comedies about comedies, particularly ones that are only 5 years old at the time. Like,
But
how
thi-
old was
but this-
Scream at the time?
But this
Like,
isn't
Would have been
necessarily.
about 4 or 5.
Yeah.
This isn't a comedy. It's like meta and stuff, but it's not a comedy.
I think it's close enough of a comedy that's weird to parody.
There are parts of it that like are funny that aren't supposed to be.
Also,
Like when
not just-
when the
not-
killer is chasing her through the house and she like shuts the door behind him and he smashes into the door. That is like
Yeah.
laugh out loud slapstick.
It's also,
yeah,
and it's
I'm
probably not supposed to be funny because it's supposed to be this really tense moment.
No, I think they are supposed to be. Like,
Really?
I think I'm changing my take. The problem with why it's hard to parody isn't because it's a comedy. It's
'cause it's parody.
It's because it's a meta. Well, it's a parody, but like it's a meta. So the whole point of the movie is that it's a meta thing on tropes. It's dealing with tropes. The
Yeah.
fundamental thing of this film is horror movie tropes. If you're going to do a parody of the horror movie genre, mostly using this, that's tropes. Like it's the
Yeah.
same basic idea, just presented differently. So you can't really do one about the other.
A rare hit for Jamie Kennedy,
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep.
who is
This and the Jamie Kennedy experiment.
you've been.
What exactly was the Jamie Carragher?
It was like a
can't even
prank
remember.
hidden camera show.
Yeah.
It was like before Punked,
Yeah. It was the whole thing was very like edgy and street,
but you'd
like
get
cool.
you'd get X'd.
Right.
Because that's where his famous, like, the character he did in,
You're gonna
like,
have to explain what that
stand-up,
means.
where getting X'd,
Yeah.
it's where you get caught out by Jamie Kennedy on the experience. So, like, you know the moment where, like, Ashton Kutcher would come out and be like, dude, you've been punked. Like,
Yeah.
there's a camera there. It would be like that, but he'd be like, you got X'd.
Oh, like
and
X
a big,
short for experience.
yeah, then a big
Oh,
X.
that
Like, the
sucks.
stamp would come up on the
Yeah, a
screen.
big X stamp
That
would come on the
sucks,
screen.
dick.
Yeah.
Because that's where, like, I think...
It would
like,
always be him, like in like elaborate, like prosthetic makeup and stuff.
Because, dude, that's where... like,
It sounds like a bit of a mind freak vibe.
yeah. It's where that character from Malibu's Most Wanted, because he used to be like a gangster rap, like parody guy
Sure.
of like a white guy wanting to be that.
He was a stand-up as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, and he did that shit in his stand-up, I believe. I think he got in trouble doing stand-up like one of the last 2 years for like really fucking going an audience member or something. But
Well, yeah, wasn't he always one of those people who encouraged hecklers?
Yeah, but he did something weird in like the last few years, which like led to like a noticeable drop off from him, even though he'd already dropped off
Significantly.
But man, the dude like dated Jennifer Love Hewitt for like a couple of years. That is a big get when you look like Jamie Kennedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the 90s were a wild time.
Yeah.
It sounds like he lasted at least until the third movie.
No, he gets killed in the second movie.
Oh, right.
He gets killed in the second movie, and in the third movie, he appears as like a video message, I believe, going over the rules of a threequel.
Right,
and then
yeah.
like when Scream 4 was
There are
being-
rules for a threequel?
Yeah.
They had new rules in every
Right,
one.
okay.
No rules.
Yeah, it's Bill
It was
Maher's
Bill Maher
Scream.
subbed in from...
Yeah.
That's funny.
So what happened was in the fourth one, which like took place, like which was made like I think more than a decade later.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Jamie Kennedy like leaked to the media that they were thinking of bringing Jamie Kennedy back, and like where's
man.
Well, isn't that like because the rule list is longer every time, and isn't the one like saying like expect the unexpected?
Yeah.
like, blah, blah, blah,
But they were like, yeah,
no
we're-
one's ever actually dead.
But they're like in talks to bring him back, and Wes Craven was like said no and was like, yeah, I think that's something that Jamie's been putting out there. So clearly, like they must not love him very much to like for the director of the franchise to essentially be like, no, he made that up.
Yeah.
Like, because you can diplomatically be like, we don't know a story way to bring a dead guy back into the fourth movie.
Because they are trying to be realistic.
Yeah, to outright say no, he's a fucking liar.
Yeah. That's so funny.
Yeah.
I love shit like that. Recently, sorry to make it about wrestling again, but recently WWE had to do that where a couple guys were clearly starting rumors that they were coming back themselves, Enzo and Big Cass for Context Rose, and like Triple H, who does the hiring today, to kind of be like, yeah, the guy's a rapist, he's not coming back. Like,
Yes.
which they never normally do. They would never normally like qualify something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so funny when someone has to just be like, nope,
Nope.
never hiring that dude, not doing it.
He's a big old raper. So the rules they talk about in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first rule is you don't talk about Fight Club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second rule is you don't talk about Fight Club.
And the third rule is make sure to bring a friend. And just try and have a good time.
Everyone have fun.
No, well, based on the rules, so there's like don't fuck, don't drink and do drugs. So you go on.
Yeah.
You would be.
Hold on. You all fucking drink.
No, but not in the way that you do. Like you'd get done.
I don't do sex in a magic secret way.
Yeah, you
It
do it
still-
ritualistically.
It still goes
Yeah.
P and V. Like that's still how
No,
you
but
I
you
don't
do it.
imagine. I don't imagine you having sex P and V. To be honest.
Yeah, you do it in a weird.
I imagine you do it in a weird way.
like a weird, just like slapping things on skin.
I imagine you do it in a slightly more twisted way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some crazy ideas how this is gonna
It
play
is
out.
funny that Rose, I literally never consider that for now, but like we've been talking about Hastings having sex for years, and I've never imagined him just doing like regular
Like
sexual
missionary,
intercourse.
yeah.
Yeah, I do it missionary.
I
though,
imagine
so
you like being in a room with like swords, like,
it's all silk robes and
yeah,
shit.
and like something fucked going on. There's like a dog bowl involved.
Oh
somewhere.
man,
Yeah.
on the
Definitely ball gags.
on the yeah, nothing wrong with whatever. In the hotel in Adelaide, the first hotel, we split it over two hotels. The first one was very fancy, so it had a bathrobe. I've never worn a bathrobe before in my life.
Love a bathroom.
Guys, getting some mad head in a bathrobe.
Yeah,
That's how
it's pretty
kings
cool.
live, dude.
But how
That's
do you?
fucking
But
kings
how do
live.
you get head? Because like the traditional way is like a mouth on a penis,
Yeah.
or like a mouth. How do you get it?
Okay, so first we summon the priestess. Alright, then we lay down the bones.
Yeah.
The talismans all have to be in their right place with their corresponding runes. The pentagrams are then applied, knife-wise. And then, we, then I jack off on her tits.
All right, but if we're doing the
That is, to be honest, one of the ways I imagine you fuck is just the girl standing there while you jerk off in front of her.
yeah, that's definitely.
And I'm
happened.
gonna say that's happened
definitely
much
happened.
more than you'd even like to
admit. Yeah,
Standing there?
or at least like,
Lying there,
or
sitting,
doing something like.
but like
dancing
you're
around.
not touching her, jerking off.
They're
Like
standing
everyone
there
knows,
telling-
everyone's done the thing where like you finish on someone by jerking off. But I imagine you do
They're
like a
they're
whole
standing
session.
there holding a hairbrush as a microphone and doing Bill Hicks bits, and
They're doing
is
Butt Baby, and
jerking
they've
off
got a
on
laugh track in the background that Hastings has designed. But I'm saying like not from like penetrative sexual intercourse to pulling out, then finishing.
Does like mutual masturbation count?
No, I'm saying that she's been like, okay, hi Andrew, nice to meet you. Lies on the bed, gets naked, and you just start masturbating, and that's the whole
That's
thing.
apparently what Jack White does.
Oh, don't! Oh, I thought
Jack White.
I thought you meant Jack
White.
Wright.
Jack
I was like-
White, the musician.
and I was like, that's a friend of ours. Don't fucking out him.
Well,
what
we'll
Jack
probably
White
have
does.
him on the pod
No,
eventually.
I-
We can
yeah,
ask him
look.
if he does that.
never as clinically as you're describing, and not the scenario you've described. However, you may have some instincts about it that are not,
yeah.
You're in the ballpark of what's some of the stuff that goes down, sure.
Yeah, but have you ever like done straight, like the first move is she's naked and you're jacking off? Like that's how you start.
Yes.
And that's how you stay and finish.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, describe that.
I would
how
describe
do
that
you
as being a selfish lover.
How do you arrange that? Like, what does she do?
The amount of detail. It's, whatever,
Like,
man.
is she doing...
Yeah, he's getting sheepish again.
Yeah.
Finally.
Because the explanation isn't going to make it sound any better.
No, which is called escalation.
There's a bit of pleading. Look.
So it's like she...
Hang on. We're about 3 seconds away from him being like, listeners, look, just know if we ever have sex, I'll totally eat your puss.
Oh yeah, like I'm not denying that he does those things. I'm just interested in the idea as well, because I also imagine that Hastings does not let the girl masturbate while he's doing it.
Oh, yeah.
He's just like, no, perfectly still.
That has happened.
Yeah, of course it has. So describe
Man,
how does
paint
that?
me in the best light?
Yeah, but like how does that get arranged? Because like say you bring someone home.
You can negotiate a scene before it happens.
Yeah, I know. So talk me through. I'm the girl. All right, we've gone.
Oh, he's thought about this so many times.
Yeah, he's thought about me being the girl.
Yeah.
You're very boldly assuming the whole thing was my idea, but it was a mutual.
Was it
agreement.
one time?
Okay.
More than once? Come
Well,
on.
let's say I'm the girl and you're trying to incept me and think that it's my idea as well. We've gone out to Staves. I've had 2 Dexies.
Yeah.
I've listened to you talk about wrestling and I'm surprisingly into it.
You've done a shot of Jägermeister at the off-Broadway.
You tell me, let's go back to my place, watch Life on the Murder
Hold on,
Scene.
what do you think it was happening in the Tom Moore video?
Yeah, but...
Like, what do you think was
Yeah,
happening?
but that's what I'm saying. Like, but like, you can get a video of you finishing on
Yeah,
someone.
right.
I'm saying like a whole 10-minute block of
Yeah.
start to finish.
Yeah, the footage was of the
But
last
with-
30
but-
seconds of that.
Yeah, but with no sexual.
Heavily edited down.
Okay, so I'm the woman. I'd love to go watch Life on the Murder Scene with you, Andrew Hastings.
It's definitely not a scenario you're opening up with. It's not what I'm doing. It's not what I'm just picking up.
Okay,
So
well,
existing sexual
okay,
partner.
well, let's do it. Man, the 5th time of Life on the Murder Scene, it gets better every time.
All right, so what do we did this thing?
Okay. Well, I'm always open to experimentation with you, Andrew. You're a good lover, and you eat pussy.
Thanks, Jamie. I love having sex with you, Jamie Kirk.
Thank you. I like to think that when I'm bouncing up on that dick, that we're both getting some mutual pleasure.
Like,
But if you want to go untraditional, like
if there's
sometimes
like,
I'm open to it.
there's like BDSM and like kink ideas around like, like
I'm listening.
like in like degradation and like that sort of stuff. There's stuff around like using people. That's like a thing.
Okay, but what are you trying to say? Do you want to incorporate that into our lovemaking?
I'm so,
You seem a little lost for words. Do you maybe want a sniff of this amyl I've got in my pocket?
okay, so what I'm gonna no, it's the idea is just I'm ending the scene. The idea is
No,
Oh,
no,
sorry.
you're back in the scene.
All right. What if I
Uh-huh.
just were to like
Go on.
I don't know, jack off in your hair or something? What if I were to like
Your hair?
Or like, what
kind of degradation
Just like, what
shit
if I was
is
just
that?
going to jack off on your face and leave you alone? Like-
Okay, but do you want me to like start it, but like maybe blow you for a bit, or we have sex?
no,
first?
the whole idea is that you don't even get the dick. You don't even touch the dick. You don't
Okay.
even get to. You don't even get that. You get nothing. You just sit there and
Well, that
I'm going to
doesn't
come on your face.
Well, that doesn't sound very fun to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
It was
god.
like, it was a very mutually agreed upon.
It sounds very Louis C.K.-esque.
Yes.
It's all very much. It's honestly pretty tame. It's just like a mean. It's just a mean thing to do to someone.
Yeah.
And if you're being mean in that scenario,
and
it's-
You're trying to play up the degradation side of things.
yeah. And it's also like if you can come in someone's hair and then like make them go to the shops or something.
so is that your thing? Like, so you're. I just like the idea that
Go buy me a V.
in like the role play, you go straight from like being very sheepish to I'm gonna come in your hair.
Yeah.
Like, there's not.
You just got to spit it
yeah,
out
but
eventually.
wouldn't you like be like? What if we did like a kinky thing? Like I get off on this. Like you lie naked on the bed and I jerk off the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't you sell it like that instead of straight? I want to come on your hair.
No, because the whole idea is
Degradation.
you're trying to make it as like humiliating as possible.
Right.
Yeah. Like yeah.
Right. Well, we've learned you're disgusting.
Yeah, it's pretty foul, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
I want to get back to these rules so we actually talk about the movie a little bit.
Yeah.
right,
like-
my first rule: no touching my penis. Second rule:
But like if
Go to the shops.
so say a recording of this podcast were to turn into a horror movie, right?
Uh-huh.
So we'd have to change it to the rules to successfully survive a horror podcast.
Yes.
So you may not survive the movie if you have sex. So I would say you may not survive the podcast if you talk about sex. So Andy is going to get picked
Hold
off
on.
first.
Is
'Cause
it
he's-
sex if you don't even touch them?
Yeah. He's got a
getting out on a
loop.
I got a
technicality.
loophole here, dude.
Yeah.
I think you might fail the next one though, because I reckon Andy's getting picked off first, right?
In
So-
a horror movie about with
Yeah.
us three. Yes.
Yes, and then
Because you're the final girl. That's the trope.
whoa, I talk your way around this then though, because
Okay.
the next one I would say you may not survive the podcast if you drink or do drugs, and I am frequently scat from having done a bunch of Warwick Kappas the night before,
Right.
so. I would have thought that I would be picked off next.
So I'm the final.
You
girl.
are you're the
most-
final
'cause
one.
You're the virginal
But
one.
I think that you still get
You're the
picked
good
off
girl, Jamie.
I am
because
the good girl.
I think you still get picked off because you may
I am a good girl.
you may not survive the podcast if you say I'll be right back, hello, or who's there, and you the
Famously
biggest
say who's there.
no, but you're the biggest offender of going to the bathroom mid-record.
That's
So
true.
you
yeah.
say I'll be right back, even though you're just at this point recording on your own. Maybe Sam subbed in. Who knows? That's who. Sam is the surviving
The
woman.
blackface killer.
It's a callback to last episode. I can hear you, she said. Sam is the last one standing. So we've been killed. You sub her in. You say, I'll be right back. And you go to the toilet. And then you get
And then
murdered
I
in my
get
ensuite.
murdered. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's not a terrible way to go.
At least I leave a beautiful corpse, you know.
No.
Yeah. I don't agree with that at all.
I got out of bed this morning, and this was like, when I say this morning, I mean 20 minutes before recording this podcast.
Yes.
At
At
when I got
3
out-
in the afternoon.
When I got out of bed at 3 in the afternoon, Yvette, first thing she was just like, "Man, you look great." Just like, oh man.
Man.
I've
Yeah.
always wanted to run into an ex to do that. They'd be like, you look great. And I'd be like, thanks.
Yeah. Nice.
Don't hit
That's
it back.
it, baby.
Yeah. I'm very nice to my exes.
Sure.
I've had an interesting development. Like my ex unfollowed me on Instagram,
Damn.
but she's still been checking in to watch my Instagram stories.
Sick.
Ah.
Man.
How do you...
You just go to the page.
You just search the page.
Yeah. You think I'm watching only Instagram stories of people I follow? You're kidding yourself, Jamie.
No, I know exactly.
I
It's
don't do
Instagram.
that because I know you can see.
Maybe that's the way you let them know, you know?
Yeah.
It's a EOI.
And then you DM them and say, hey,
It's
would
a
you
J-
like to
it's
sit
a
in a room
JOY.
while I jerk off and you do nothing?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I also just do regular
You should
sex.
You should make jerk off instruction videos, Hastings.
Yeah, but I'll make it very technical.
Yeah, yeah. Instead of like, and now
Step
I'm taking-
one.
Yeah, taking off my clothes. You're like, here's how you do it.
Stroke the shaft, cut
ask
the
her-
balls.
Ask her about her hair.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure it is. Yeah, you'd definitely be the first.
Yeah. No, that's a given.
Given.
I'll probably be the first to die.
But
anyway.
maybe he would be the first to die and then it would be revealed that he is the killer.
That could make sense. Where he's like, your disrespect has driven me crazy over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he
that's
would
true.
make it appear as though
That'd
he
be a
was
good
being
reveal
killed.
that I'm the
Yeah.
killer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
What about Andrew Hastings, the 8 years killer?
Yep.
He's just like, Okay, so we've got a comedy horror movie here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where like
The Joker.
yeah, where like the first scene is like Hastings like bombing at an open mic,
Mm.
and he gets off and says like he did good to his circle of friends, and as soon as he walks away, everyone starts disrespecting him, being like, "Did you see? I can't believe he thinks he did good." And then you like see him around the corner hearing it,
Yeah.
twisting himself a little
Yeah.
while still being like friends, and then like
This is literally the trailer for the Joker.
yeah, I know, but like we're making it a slasher as well. So like Andrew Bensley goes to the bathroom in the break, gets viciously garroted.
Ooh, yeah. Do you know what you call the movie?
strangled from behind while he's washing the shit out of his underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah, Panic at the Open Mic. Absolutely, dude. Because it's about an emo killer who goes to open mics.
Yeah.
And it's all about how and everyone's like locked into the open mic somehow.
Yeah.
In a world where people are afraid to laugh.
Oh, and I'm murdering people in the order that they crushed. Like, biggest crushes get murdered first.
Yeah, or I was going
Like
to
as
say
revenge.
you...
Or like the order of the
you-
sign-up sheet or something.
I was going to say that you order them in like the like what they've got, where it's just like, I can't believe Rose Piper got the store. Like
yeah,
it's on
that's a
the
good one.
list.
Yeah, yeah. It's by, jealousy.
It was actually a television spot.
Yeah. Yeah, so you'd be the first to go.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
Especially
yeah,
'cause-
Rose is the most successful comedian I know.
Yeah. And it's like just like Jackson Stewart as the comic relief being like, please kill me, and like
But
Hastings ignoring him.
But of course, I would be the first to go.
He'd be my
because
sidekick in this film.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You and I have the most like competitive rivalry for like comedy.
In comedy, sure, yeah.
Well, like just like for you.
Yeah.
Like not at all in comedy. I'm sure there are much bigger rivalries.
No, I'm saying between you. I'm saying
Yeah.
I have bigger, like, I would say, like, sexually, I'm a bigger rival with Tom Sanderson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, but comedy, you're my biggest rival. Yes. You're my Gary to my Ash, Blue to my Red, Eevee to my Pikachu. They're all Pokemon.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And also, you really got the order wrong there. I'm the hero.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so the Open Mic Killer is a pretty good movie.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Like, I mean, like, yeah, we've got to differentiate it slightly from the opening of the Joker.
What do we call it? Open knife night.
Yeah, that's good.
Ooh.
Open mic fright.
Ooh, that's better.
One bell at 3, 2 bells at death.
Yeah, that's pretty
That's
good.
that's the tagline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sign up for murder.
Yeah. Free to fill in if there's any deaths.
Yeah, everyone gets 4 minutes left.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. He died on and off stage. You got stuff like that.
The tagline for the final one in the franchise would be like, pull back and reveal who the killer is.
yeah, that's not bad. Yeah,
Now we got to think of like comedy-related ways for you to kill people.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
So like the first, I reckon, like
So the pullback reveal would be like ripping someone's like head off or something like that.
All
Like,
right.
well, I was thinking
like
my
the-
first one would be like someone's on stage crushing that Hastings is watching, who's like newer than Hastings,
Yeah.
and like all of a sudden like he gets like a little.
So everyone.
Well, it's good you're getting self-aware.
yeah, finally.
Less time and fun.
So like what
alright.
you see it like he's talking, he's crushing, and you see like a little spark on the mic, and then you see like this big trail of water like right near the sound equipment, and he gets electrocuted from the mic.
That's
to
pretty
death.
good.
Like it burns him to death. So he dies holding the mic in his hand.
Yeah.
Which is very allegorical for his spark just burned too bright.
All right,
Yeah.
here's one I got. So in the room, the way they do the light is they do it with like a laser pointer.
Yeah.
Right. So the guy like thinks he's getting the light, but it's a sniper like.
Oh
thing.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah, up in the
red.
The guy's
rafters.
like, oh, I just got the light, and then his head
Yeah,
comes off.
that's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
What are some other ones we could do? Like
Something about.
there would have to be like a green room murder in there.
I was thinking
there could be
like.
one where you like go behind the curtain for an encore and then get strangled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there should be like a mic lead strangling at some point, I guess.
Yes.
At one point, like, and like the way you like when you start teasing it out at the start, like you get gory and more violent and more whatever. Like the first murder is just the MC says the name and they're just not. They don't come to stage. And everyone's like, where's,
Yeah.
You know.
And instead, they're like,
Where's Crookshank?
They're like, yeah, second call for John Crookshank, and then it just like goes to beneath the curtain. You see the blood pooling through
Yeah,
towards
yeah.
the stage.
Yeah. And they
Man,
think
we actually made this
one-
episode pretty fun.
That one,
Yeah,
that one
we
kind
should
of
write
looks
this
that,
movie.
that one kind of looks like an accident, so they continue with the show.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, that completely inexplicable thing where like, I guess he just fell over, so we'll keep going.
I hope you guys like Mike Goldstein. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it's just
Yeah, someone like they do a thing where like there's like drinks for the comics. There's like a case of beer, or like the drink tickets.
You poison
Yeah.
them.
The drink tickets linked to a certain thing, like, and there's poison or something. You do a thing with drink tickets. You do a thing with
A free schnitzel.
yeah, do a thing with a heckler.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you do with that. Maybe like he pays a hitman or something. I don't know.
What if it was just like
Thinking
your
like comedy tropes.
No, because what it would be, right, is so like it's a crowd, right, and someone that you hate, famous for crowd work, goes on, and you're in like your killer get up, but it's like just sitting in the audience, and you say something like "you suck," and he starts picking on you. You get up
Because you're
and
wearing the
straight-
ghost face mask.
Yeah, you get up and go on the stage and straight fucking disembowel him. Like
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, do you want to come up here and try comedy for
Man,
yourself?
that's
How easy
it.
is that?" And you go
Yeah.
up and you just gut
Yeah.
him,
Yeah.
and then like you say a
And get a
funny
huge
line.
laugh.
Yeah.
yeah. That's great. That's a fun one. I enjoyed that a lot. Maybe at the end you find out there's a bomb and you do some bomb jokes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 We should probably not give Hastings too many ideas about how to kill his
This is true,
kids.
actually, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen the movie Elephant?
Yeah.
Interesting. Funny. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're pretty much done, right?
Yeah, that is
How long has
good.
it been?
I want to go home.
It's been an hour.
I gotta make dinner.
Yeah. Come to Powerbomb Comedy every Friday
At 8 p.m.
Stays Brewery in Glade.
and every Saturday in October.
The Powerbomb Comedy Festival.
You up with Andrew Hastings?
Thanks for
Maybe
coming
we
out and
should
supporting live comedy. from
Maybe
Rose
we should
Piper.
change you up with Andrew Hastings to the comedy horror movie.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, the show's in a month, and I've
Not written it.
half written it.
Okay, there
It's
we
like,
go.
yeah, we're there. We're
All
getting
right.
there.
All right. Comedy at Papa Getty's every third Tuesday of the month. UTS comedy every Tuesday.
The
of
third
the
Tuesday of every month, not every third Tuesday.
Month. Oh, did I say that wrong?
Yes.
Oh, my mistake.
UTS Loft Comedy during semester, 7 p.m. Loft Bar. UTS.
Follow us
I'm
on
usually there.
Follow us on Twitter and shit.
Everly Comedy.
Oh yeah, Everly Comedy is the best room in Sydney. Okay,
Okay.
that'll do it. To the next step.
To the next step.
No touching.